There's a difference between having passion and compassion and being straight hateful. Now, what I have is passion, and I have compassion for other people, but you're not gonna play me like I'm stupid. I have listened to some of Kirk's videos, and they were hard to listen to. I can't understand why people are sitting here justifying this man's hatefulness and bigotry. Now, I just ran across a clip of him speaking about Sheila Jackson and two other women. This man was so disrespectful. He speaks about those called black Americans or just black immigrants like there's something on the bottom of his shoe. But then he say he's a Christian. That is not Christ-like. And you're not going to sit here and make me think that it is. And two, I don't really follow Hughley, but what he said about Kirk, he really had me listening and paying attention. Check it out.
You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. We know it's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own.
To eulogize means to speak well of. And I wonder what Charlie Kirk would say about Charlie Kirk. Because his death stood in stark contrast to the way he lived and the things he believed and the things he expects. He often talked about black criminality. He often talked about the high crime rates among black people. He spent his life saying that black people basically were inferior and they were superior. Apparently, he's never met a qualified black person that didn't earn it through merit. They were all set aside as DEI. He spent his life talking about empathy and how it was necessary. He spent his life talking about the necessity of people dying for the preservation of an amendment, a piece of paper. He spent his life categorizing people and percentagizing people and slanting things to present a certain aspect of things. He died forwarding the notion that it's black people who are responsible for gun death. His last words were gang violence. But he wasn't shot. He wasn't shot. We know it was because we know who wasn't. First off, Charlie Kirk was not assassinated. He was shot. Those the congressmen in Minnesota, they were assassinated because they were shot for their political views. Charlie Kirk was shot. And Charlie Kirk was shot doing the very thing he'd always done, percentagizing and blaming and minimizing and saying these things are not true. These things, his last words were gang violence. But we know who it was because we know who it wasn't. 3 words let you know they weren't black. It was Utah and at large. Now, if Charlie Kirk, we're looking at a situation with Charlie Kirk, would he say he was the victim of crime or white on white violence? Because what Charlie Kirk always talked about was how many black people killed black people. But he never talked about how many white people killed white people.
Before Kirk was shot, a student specifically asked him about mass shooting. He flipped it around and talked about gang violence. Kirk never addressed the issues within the white community. His method was to always talk negatively about the black community.